Hello, and welcome to the O State Report. We're glad you're with us. I'm Austyn Iven. No matter what arena Forte's in, he still has the same mindset. The goal's 15 feet away and 10 feet tall. The only surprise at OSU's press conference was Coach Gundy's Big Daddy mug. One more guy I want to talk about. He's not an offensive player, but he's certainly sparked the offense at times. Vincent Taylor. He's had 2 option pitches this season. Women of all ages had the chance to be an OSU Cowboy football player for the day. The Strongest Cowboy is an annual event here for the Department of Wellness. When a ball's coming at you, it's easy to want to dodge or get out of the way. They are officially the Big 12 wrestling champions. The Cowboys also set a record for having all 10 Cowboys in the finals. It's your first year here at OSU, but you've had time to settle into Stillwater. How was that transition for you? Sophomore Devon Dillard could be considered a rookie too because he didn't play at all last season. How is it working with student athletes? I know they can be a handful. I mean, is it more stressful or entertainment? 16 years ago, 10 men of the Oklahoma State basketball program died in a plane crash. A couple players, student managers, and support staff were on the plane, including coordinator of media relations, Will Hancock. His wife, Karen, who was then head coach of the OSU soccer team, said getting through the tragedy was the hardest thing of her life, but living in the town of Stillwater helped get her through.
The size of our town, it definitely helped, because a lot of, people know people. Obviously my situation, having a 2-month-old daughter, and losing my husband when she was that young, people, I think, instinctively knew this person's going to need help.
Karen said people are still offering to help her and her daughter, Andrea, who is now 16. Now every spring, Oklahoma State has a Remember the 10 run to celebrate the lives that were lost in the plane crash. There is a 10K, 5K, and 1-mile fun run. Around 2,000 people showed up for the event this year, including several OSU athletes, the new men's basketball coach, and his team.
See the amount of people that come out to support really shows you what the OSU Cowboy family is about.
All the proceeds of the race go to OSU Counseling Services, where Karen was a direct beneficiary of after the crash.
What the money does is it helps provide resources so that we can train our counseling staff to assist students that are dealing with grief.
I'm not sure it's too dramatic to say for saving my life, to where she helped me understand that there were still reasons to live and go on when I was in a really dark place.
Now, Karen has learned to celebrate the life of her husband.
As time has kind of gone on, we don't think of so much about the sadness of not having him or the event of losing him, all of them. We think more about, what a great light he was.
For O State TV, I'm Austyn Iven. As a kid, Ben Grogan got into kicking because he didn't want to be in PE class. Now Grogan is leaving Oklahoma State as the all-time leading scorer with 433 points.
And Ben Grogan curls it in and now stands on top of the mountain in Oklahoma State history. More points than anyone in Cowboy football history.
But it was a long 4 years for Grogan. When Ben got to college, he kicked almost 50 times a day. So by the end of his sophomore year, his right hip was almost torn up. Grogan had a hip labral injury and had surgery immediately following the season. After 6 months of daily physical therapy and rehab, Grogan was ready to go again. But then quickly into the 2015 season, his left hip started hurting.
Got bad enough during junior season to where I noticed it hurting and got worse as the season went on. But I didn't want to have surgery again, so I kind of just let it be.
At the beginning of March, Grogan ended up having the exact same surgery, but this time on his left hip. Frustrated at first on why the exact same injury would happen again, he soon learned it was a genetic bone issue.
It makes sense now because it was like a time bomb. My right one just went first because I obviously kick with my right.
But this time, he didn't have as long for rehab.
Obviously, you have a protective phase following the surgery that lasts about 6 weeks.
Making it back just in time for his senior year, but never fully feeling 100%, Grogan contemplated on if he should try to make it in the NFL. And he just recently made his decision.
I was just going to see how Pro Day went, and I kicked better than I expected at Pro Day. So knowing that and getting feedback from the scouts there, and now getting phone calls and stuff from coaches, that kind of made my decision.
Grogan now has to wait to the draft to see if he gets any calls from coaches. But for now, he will continue to do his rehab on his hips to get them even stronger and work on his kicking fundamentals. For the Poke Report, I'm Austyn Iven. I would say so. It improved their on-base percentage, so anytime you're on base, that means you have a chance or an opportunity to score. You heard Coach Gajewski say getting hit by a pitch isn't easy. The ball's coming at you fast. It hurts. But he's trying to create a mentality of toughness, and the girls really bought into that. They beat his original goal of 50, and they ended with 53 this season. Like you said, it's his second year here, so last year he took the Cowgirls to the NCAA tournament, a place the Cowgirls have not been to since 2011. Before OSU, Gajewski was at Florida for 3 years. 2 of those years, he won the NCAA tournament, so he comes from a winning program. He knows what it takes to compete and win at a high level, and he's bringing that to Stillwater. I would say last year was a successful season for OSU, and the future looks bright for the Cowgirls. They have a lot of starters that are returning, plus they're adding some talented freshmen and junior college players into the starting lineup, so there's a lot to be optimistic about for Cowgirl softball.